Main character, the female lead, and all of the different people from righteous sects are going and heading to the demonic sect that the female lead belongs to, because again, they believe that demonic sect has the jade statue, because the hallmaster of that demonic sect was the one who stole it from right underneath the righteous boy and the ex-fiance and the still sleeve. Yeah, she is there, and they're going after her to get the jade statue. I forgot to talk about a certain person, though I'm not sure what her position is. I think her position is the martial cousin to the female lead. I could be incorrect, but she's the daughter of the female lead's martial aunt, who is the sister to her father, or martial sister to her father. So I am pretty sure that makes her the female lead's martial cousin. This girl absolutely decides the main character years ago went and picked a fight with the main character against the wishes of the female lead and got both of her legs broken. And this starts off where the book begins, is the female lead, hunts the main character down because she needs an ingredient to the cure to fix the girls' legs that were broken years prior by the main character. And that is why she's spending all these months with the main character, is to pay the main character for the ingredient, not to pay for the main character buying her off. Yes, that is the why. But this girl, she absolutely despises the main character, and the main character despises her just as equally. She does not think this girl deserves to be in the female lead's life. And this girl is kind of a little vile vixen, a little vile thing. Like, she absolutely does not hide her hatred for the main character, and she's not even afraid of hurting the female lead to get to the main character. She's just so awful to the female lead. And the female lead protects and cares for her because of a promise she made to her martial aunt, because her martial aunt, when her martial aunt died, because she died at the hands of the female lead, because she begged the female lead to kill her because she was losing herself to her demonic arts. Like, she was becoming an actual real demon, and she had begged the female lead to save her before she became a real monster. But yeah, this girl, she's awful. And the main character wants to lay hands on this girl, but the female lead won't. That is what they argue about a lot in this book, is that the main character just wants rid of this girl, and the female lead constantly protects her, even though she's just vile. The juniors are staying at the demonic sect for a period of time, and none of the people of the demonic sect has laid hands on any of them. And they did ask the demonic sect, specifically the hall master who has the statue, to give it over. And she's like, I'm not giving it over. The only person I will give it to is the main character, because it belongs to the main character. Like, she's willing to give it away. She doesn't care about the fact that it could have a map in it. She is willing to give it to the main character. And this is when the sack leaders of the righteous path shows up and goes, oh no, like, it's ours. Her father states we all get to share the statue. It's not hers anymore. She can typically have the statue itself, but we want the map inside the statue. And so this woman agrees. But she gets herself drunk, so she can't hand over the statue right away. And the funny part about this whole scene is the fake young master telling her father that the hall master is the woman she's in love with, and that she's going to wed her. And her father, the fake young master's father, protects her from everybody else being like, oh, she's my future daughter-in-law, don't lay hands on her. And she said this, one, to protect the woman because everyone wanted to awake her and force her to hand over the statue already, and two, it was to get a reaction out of the third young master. But the third young master went, oh no, this is perfectly fine, and walked out of there. Like, she just left. So I was right. The third young master is working for the Infinity Hall. She's not the leader of it. That is the main character. I originally thought the main character was the leader of the Infinity Hall, but then I made myself believe it was the third young master. She is still technically the leader of the other one, the one that the brothel's involved with. She's the leader of that, I think, or I could be wrong. I'm just a little bit confused of some people's positions and what Saxon so, because again, we all know I do terrible with these stories. Like, my brain just can't compute. But yes, the main character is the leader. She works for the main character in the Finney Hall. That also works for the main character is the Hallmaster and the Hallmaster's sister. They all work for the main character in the Infinity Hall. So the Jade statue was handed over, but before it was handed over, the leaders of the Righteous Sacks had already ran off and left because the Infinity Hall was making a scene back in their location, so they had to return back to put things in line. And once they left, the statue was handed over. Well, when the statue was handed over, the Infinity Hall also attacked the Demonic Sack. And there was a whole fight going on between this Righteous Path and the Demonic Sack. It was a whole scene. And they make it out that the main character was captured by the Infinity Hall, but also returned back to her sack, returned back home to her sack, safe and sound, with the female lead in her arms. So before the whole statue getting handed over, though, there was a scene, which is why I do not like the Marshall cousin. So she tries poisoning the main character, but she ends up poisoning the female lead because the main character refuses to drink wine. And specifically, she refuses to drink wine from someone she does not like at all, and she despises the Marshall cousin. So the female lead drank it instead. And she doesn't stop her own Marshall cousin from drinking it. No, the Marshall cousin just watches the female lead drink it. And the female lead ends up poisoned. And let's just say the main character loses it. And this is such a good scene. Like, the main character makes this woman feel her wrath. And she's only kind of stopped because the female lead is like, don't harm her, don't harm her. And this just angers the main character more because, again, she's like, this person tried to poison me and harm me, but instead she poisoned and harmed you, and you don't want me landing hands on her because of a stupid promise, a promise she herself probably doesn't know. Like, honey, like, oh, she's mad, and I understand where her rage is coming from, and I could feel the rage from just reading those pages. Like, it was good. Like, this author knew how to write a rage scene. So the main character, she tries saving the female lead's life with different medicines and cures. Once she gets the female lead back to her home, nothing is working until one of her servants is like, oh, there's a healing master, take her to this healing master. So the main character does. This healing master agrees to save the female lead's life as long as the main character protects her from a swordswoman. And the main character agrees. This swordswoman has it out for the healing master. Basically, years ago, the healing master could have saved this sword woman's husband, but didn't. She let the man die because this man was a vile, despicable, disgusting creature of a man, and she just let the man die. And this caused the swordswoman to become obsessed with her and chase her down. And they've been at this whole relationship for decades, to the point most people think she's dead. People have forgotten her name, and they think the swordswoman is a crazed lunatic. They once were honored and loved and adored, and now completely forgotten or just seen as lunatics. Which, makes the main character think of what her and the female lead's relationship is. Like, it is so sad. Like, this is practically probably a tragic version of what the main character and female lead's relationship could have been. Like, heartbreaking tragic.